Ahoy mateys, my name is Gail, and if you clicked on this video, there's a good chance you already have thalassophobia. If you don't know what that means, it's an intense fear of deep bodies of water, most commonly associated with the ocean. Now, I personally, as a Californian who grew up at the beach, you'd know that if you watched my intro video, which is linked in the corner above. But anyways, I grew up at the beach, so I've never actually had thalassophobia. So, I decided to start this series where I am going to be drawing some cool things in the water. So for this video, I am going to be looking at squids and drawing a couple of them. I chose the big fin squid, the diamond squid, the giant squid, and the firefly squid. Starting off strong with the big fin squid, this guy looks like he's from a different dimension. I had a friend tell me about this species of squid, and I am so glad that I decided to do it because it was so entertaining to draw. I tried to draw a couple larger versions of him, but I also did a couple small doodles of him falling over because I thought it'd be funny. His legs are too skinny. There's no way he could stand. So the largest big fin squid on record stretched to more than 20 feet long. Most of those length is gonna come from those hair-like tentacles that they have, and scientists speculate that they use those tentacles like spider webs to catch their prey. But they don't eat anything too large. They only eat shrimp and plankton and smaller sea creatures. So fish and people are off the menu for this guy. They're the deepest living squid, that's around 20,000 feet deep. And some have suspected that the strange way their arms work, how they have those little orange stubs before they go into the long string-like ones, are to keep their long arms in or from getting tangled. Now for this guy, I really struggled with the lighting underwater because it's honestly one of the first times I've drawn anything underwater with fancy lighting. And I have to say that first squid that I'm working on right now is probably the best it ever turned out. I don't necessarily like how the other one turned out, or a couple of the other squids throughout the video. There's also a chance it could have just been the colors I was using, but you win some, you lose some. Alright, for the second squid, we have the diamond squid. This guy gave me a little bit of trouble because I was trying to find a type of squid that was like cool enough for the video, and I found a diamond squid and I thought it was perfect, and then when I looked up diamond squids, this different squid showed up and I was so confused. Turns out I had found a picture of the baby and I was gonna use the baby, and then I realized the adult looks completely different, so I had to draw both on here. The baby squid is only about 3 inches long. I think it was like there's some debate on there, but it's only a couple of inches long, and it's translucent. Well, translucent. So you can see all of its like organs in its head part, whatever that is on a squid. It was so fun to try to draw this guy transparent, like trying to get all of the organs to show through, even with giving it like a blue, like opaque coating. It was so interesting to do, and I don't think I've ever done a drawing like that was that see-through. So this was a bit of a learning experience as I tried to figure out how to get squids to work. They're the only species of squid that is fully monogamous, which means that they're the only species of squid that marries for life. And I thought that was very interesting because I know a couple other animals do mate for life, but these are the only squids to, which is kind of cute. They can be found throughout tropical and subtropical waters, and their lifespan is less than a year. Now I'm working on the adult diamondback, and this guy kind of gave me a little bit of trouble too because I couldn't figure out how I wanted the eyes to look because the babies were so large. And then I remembered that I drew the other one with like closed eyes, so this was my first attempt at actually drawing squid eyes. Man, I really messed up with that red color, didn't I? I was outside when I colored the red squid in, and I don't think I came back inside until I was like done with all of the coloring. For the other side doodle I did up in the corner, I wanted to draw something funny because I really loved the baby version of these squids, but the adults were kind of just meh to me. So I wanted to draw the baby being like all blinged out and the adult being mad that he's getting all of the attention. In the right corner, we have the biggest contender on our list, the giant squid. Now, the giant squid is probably one of the more iconic species of squid, but they are one of my favorites. They are 50 feet long on average, or at least the girls are. Female giant squid are much larger than male giant squid. I think male giant squid are somewhere around 30 feet, with females growing up to 50 feet. We don't know much about these squids, so anything we do know is mostly related to their size. And another interesting thing about squids in general, but I didn't know it until I was looking at the giant squid, is that they have 3 hearts. And I thought that was like very interesting, and I wanted to include it on one of the pages, but I didn't have any room on the other 2 pages. So I decided to include it on this one. Oh, and they are so big that their eyes are the size of frisbees. Why do they need eyes that big? To symbolize the big eyes, I wanted to draw a squid getting hit in the eye with a frisbee. I promise she's okay. It's just a funny idea I had. I really enjoyed this one. Like, I'm really attached to this one for some reason. I think it's because growing up I watched a lot of like Octonauts and Wildcats, and I just remember episodes about giant squids and colossal squids and oh, colossal squids. I might have to remember that for another video. I forgot about those guys till now. I think this one turned out really cute, and I think by now I was starting to figure out how water shading was supposed to work, and I just kind of used the shading that I usually did. Now, let's say that 50-foot long squids aren't your style. Luckily for you, I have the firefly squid, which are extremely adorable. You can't tell me these guys aren't the cutest squids you've ever seen. They only grow up to be about 6 inches long, and they live off the Sea of Japan, typically in the Twilight Zone, which is around 600 to 1200 feet deep. If you've never seen a picture of these guys in real life, I seriously recommend you look one up because they are the cutest squid. And I don't say that lightly, they are actually adorable. And the shade of brown I'm using is really terrible to demonstrate it right now, but just bear with me, you have to trust the process. The coolest part about these squids is that they actually have bioluminescence, so they glow in the dark thanks to photophores, which are light-producing cells throughout their bodies. And I think I make it look better right about... what do I make it like? What do I make it shiny? There we go! Now you can see the proper coolness of the glowing squids. And you might notice a couple side doodles in the corners. The one in the bottom right corner is because they can also change the color of their bodies to match the background, so they can blend into the water better and hide from predators. And the drawing in the top corner is because they will wash up onto shore sometimes, and just do yourself a favor and look up firefly squids on beaches. It is so beautiful. And that's it for my list of squids. I hope you liked them. I had so much fun learning about squids because squids are definitely one of the sea creatures that I did not know like anything about going into this video. Loved how all of them turned out. I wanted to try to give myself a little feedback because I think that's something artists do on their videos, and I think it's a good idea. My main feedback for myself is I need to learn how to draw bubbles properly because I did not know going into this video, and I still do not know coming out of this video. Now, I have to admit that I have a favorite squid, and it is 100% the firefly squid. That thing is adorable, and look at these actual real pictures of them. They're so cute. I didn't stray too far from reality to make them cute. Also, if you're not allowed to put real pictures of things on YouTube, I'm so sorry. I don't know how copyright works. This is only my second video. If you guys had a favorite squid, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what it was. And now for the outro. How do I do an outro? Now, if you liked this video, please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Man, that sounds really cringy to say. But yeah, if you could do me a favor and subscribe, and then you'll be able to get notified when I release more Thalassophobia videos, because I am definitely planning on drawing a bunch more cute animals. If you want to see another video from my channel, you can look right here and right here. Please go check them out. I put a lot of work into those. And if you want to subscribe to me, there's my channel page, and then get notified when I release my next Thalassophobia video. If you guys want to put a interesting animal in the comments that you would really love to see me draw, I'm open to suggestions. I have a couple of my own ideas, but I definitely need some help. I don't know what people are afraid of in the ocean.